Why on earth would I knowingly pour a bucket of cold water over my head, and what on earth has it got to do with today's video? If you want the backstory, stay tuned to find out. One of my pet peeves is the concept of being realistic. The dictionary defines the word unrealistic as having or showing a sensible and practical idea of what can be achieved or expected. When we're being realistic, we're ripping ourselves off from our true potential, and here's why. We relate to things as being either realistic or unrealistic based on the experiences that we had in the past. We then make choices about what we're going to do or not going to do based on those past experiences. Now, when most of our choices for our future are based on our experiences from the past, this limits us in a pretty big way. This map will show me where I want to go to. Where do I want to go to? Essentially, we're depriving ourselves of growth opportunities and we limit our full potential. And to be honest, we strangle the shit out of the true joy and juice in life when we have all of these realistic rules and expectations on how things need to be and what's possible and what's not possible. Personally, the best stuff that I've created in my life is when I've been totally unrealistic and had the kahunas to actually follow through. In fact, my biggest goals that I'm currently going for are extremely unrealistic, and that's why they're so juicy to create. I love this quote by Emile Zola. If you ask me what I came into this life to do, I will tell you I came to live out loud. Now, back at the beginning of the video, I poured a bucket of water over my head. Are you ready to know what on earth that has to do with this video? Before I tell you this juicy little story, I invite you to look into your own life. Where would being unrealistic be kind of like CPR and breathe some life back into your life? Maybe it's as small as shaking up your family routine, doing something crazy spontaneous and totally unrealistic with your kids or your partner, or maybe it's as big as finally deciding once and for all to lay aside all reasons, all excuses and all fears and finally go for that big thing that you've always wanted. In the comments below, I want to hear from you. When's the time that you've been unrealistic, you've taken action and it paid off? Or what's something that you'd love to be unrealistic about and really make happen in your life? Pop them in the comments below. So now back to that story. A few years ago, I had an experience that really left me with a big impact. I was driving home at the end of a long day at work and I was feeling mentally exhausted from this massive day. And all I wanted to do was crash on the couch and not be bothered by anyone. As I walked towards the house, I was bracing myself for the evening onslaught. I got to the door and through the glass, I saw my husband and two kids sitting and talking. They hadn't seen me, and as I watched them, I realized that if I went in the way I was feeling, I'd be radiating this negative, shitty energy I felt, and that it would become a boring, disconnected night at the least, or could even snowball into the odd argument. And either way, I didn't want it. So, realizing I had to do something to dramatically shift this, I looked around and found a bucket. I grabbed that bucket and filled it to the brim with cold water. I walked over to the window and knocked. They looked up and waved, and then their mouths dropped open as their mum stood there in her business clothes and tipped a bucket of cold water over her head. Their shocked faces and hysterical laughter mixed with the shocking cold of the water snapped me out of my crazy ass mood, and needless to say, we had one of the most awesome nights together as a family, and that I reckon I'll remember that night well into my old age. Are you ready to get unrealistic and take your life to a whole new level? I'm offering a handful of free personal strategy sessions for people who are ready to step it up in a really big way. If this is you, head over to breakthrough-session.com for more info and to apply. Would you like to work closely with us over 2 days to create massive breakthroughs in your life? Game Changer Live is coming to Auckland, New Zealand, and being a consistent sellout, the results created in Game Changer Live are incredible. Go to GameChangerLive.com now for more info and to grab your ticket, plus the fabulous bonuses as well as a super early bird special. See you there.